Hi guys, I am Uchakwa Alntangeni with Maths XYZ, and today we'll still be continuing with geometry on similar triangles. Alright, and before I forget, I just want to urge you guys to also subscribe to our channel on YouTube, which is Maths XYZ, so that when we upload videos you can always get notification. You are also encouraged, if you don't understand anything in our lesson, to also put it on the comment note. Then we'll make sure that we follow up on it and make sure that we explain further, so that it will be clear, the concept will be clear to you. Alright guys, with similar triangles, as you can see, these two triangles here, the first triangle is a bit bigger than the second triangle. So when you are dealing with a similar triangle, it's either that the angles within those triangles, they must be equal to each other, or the opposite sides of the triangle, they are proportional to each other. So with similar triangle, when you prove that triangles are similar, it's either the angles are equal to each other, or the corresponding sides, they are in proportion to each other. So the reason for similarity in triangles is always AAA, which stands for angle, angle, angle. Alright, then also the sign to show that the triangles are similar is always denoted by these three lines, which means similarity in triangles. Alright, then if we were to prove that these two triangles are actually equal to each other, what you need to do first is to see on the angles that these angles are also equal to the angles on the second triangle. As you can see that these two triangles, in these two triangles, the angle of A is equal to the angle of A with the prime, and also the angle of B, this one is also equal to the angle of B prime, and also the angle of C is equal to the angle of C with prime. Then another thing that you must do after finding out that the angles in the triangles, they are equal to each other, you must always just put a confirmation that thereof. That means that the triangle of ABC, so you must always show that it's a triangle, it's similar to triangle. Sorry guys, let me just make space here and write in a good order. Triangle of ABC, it's similar, which is these three these three arrow lines which show similarity in triangle. It's similar to triangle of ABC. Alright, and when you are writing the triangle, you must always put it in the correct order. That for example, for this one, you couldn't write that triangle of ABC is similar to triangle maybe of BCA, because with this, after writing this, you are actually telling us that A is equals to B, and B is equals to C, and C is equals to A, which is actually incorrect. So you must always write in the order that the triangle, the first triangle is the same as the first angle is the same as the second as the angle on the second triangle. Like A is equals to A prime, and B is also equals to the B prime, and C is equals to C prime. All right. I hope you guys understood that after proving that the angles are equal, then you must write it and say that thereof, that means that the first triangle and the second triangle, they are similar to each other, and the reason is AAA, which is angle, angle, angle. Then when it comes to side, when you're proving that the sides are proportional to each other, what you do, you still write them in a good sequence and in good order, so that they will just be showing the similarity in the triangle. So that would be, for this case, it will be the triangle of ABC and the triangle of ABC prime. It will be the first sides, which is AB. It's actually in proportion with the sides of A prime, B prime. So that one is proved. Then this is, the ratio is the same as AC. AC is equals to divided by AC prime. So those two is just showing the ratio. And also with the third one, it will be BC divided by the B prime C prime. So as you can see here that AB, which is this side of the triangle, it's in corresponding or in proportion with the side of AB prime. And also thus the side of AC, which is the longer side, is in proportion with the side of AC prime. And also there's the last side, which is BC, is in proportion or corresponding with the side of BC prime. So that's always when you are proving triangles that they are similar, you must always give reason. Is that the first one, it was A is equals to A prime, B is equals to B prime. The angle of, I should write the sign of angle there. the angle of A is equal to the angle of A prime, the angle of B is equal to the angle of B prime, and also the angle of C is equal to the angle of C sine. So after writing that, then you must always show that thereof, that means that the triangle of ABC is similar to triangle ABC prime, and the reason for that is AAA, which means angle, angle, angle. And then when moving on to the sides which are corresponding and proportional to each other, then that means that AB, which is the this side there, is in proportion with the side of AB prime, and also BC is in proportion to BC prime, and also AC is in proportion to AC prime. And then the reason for that is sides in triangle, they are in proportion to each other. That means that the triangles are similar. Remember, the reason for singularity in triangle, it's the first one, it's either all the angles in the triangle are similar, and the second equal, I mean to say, and the second reason is if the sides in the triangle, the opposite sides in the triangle, they are corresponding to each other, then that will be the enough reason for those two triangles to be similar to each other. Then let's move to the question, which is this one. We have triangle ABC, and also have this triangle, which is ABD and also ACD. So the question says that we must prove that triangle ABC and ACD are similar. So we are dealing with this first triangle here and also this triangle here. So remember, the reason for similarity in triangle is angle, angle, angle. So all the angles in these two triangles, they must be equal to each other. That will be good reason enough for these two triangles to be similar. Alright, so after doing this, the first thing that we must do, we must now prove the angles. So the angle, let's say this is D1 and this is D2. As you can see, remember from our previous lesson, I told you guys that whenever you see that small box, then that tells you that the angle in there is equal to 90 degrees. So as you can see that the angle of D1 there, it's equal to the angle of D2. Alright, so the first one is now proved that D1 is equal to D2. As you can see here that this is 90 degrees and the other one is also 90 degrees. Alright, moving on, now we are left with these two angles right there. So let's see that if B is equal to the angle of C, then remember that we have this two, that means that those two sides are equal to each other. So when the two sides are equal to each other, that means that the opposite angles to those two sides, they are also equal to each other, I meant to say. So that means that the opposite angle to this side is this B, and the opposite angle to this side is equal to the angle of C. That tells us that those two angles, they are also equal to each other. So now second reason is B, it's equal to the angle of C. All right, then now moving on to this one, which is the angle of A1 and the angle of A2. That after proving that, then we'll have a reason enough that the two triangles are similar to each other, and the reason will be angle, angle, angle. All right, then angle of A1 and angle of A2, they are also equal to each other. Reason being, if this is equal to that, let's say if this angle is equal to 30 degrees, that means that this angle is also equal to 30 degrees. And now here we have 90 degrees, and now here we have 90 degrees. Remember that sum of angles in the triangles, they must add up to 180. So this tells us that with this first triangle, forgetting about the side, this will be 60 degrees. So the same happens with the angle of A1, that if we forget about the side and only concentrate on this side, that means that the angle of B plus A1 plus D1, they must also give us 180. Thus also should be 60 degrees. So that tells us that the angle of A1 plus A2 and A2, they are also similar to each other. So A1 is equal to A2. All right, then now we do a thereof. So thereof, triangle of ABC, triangle ABC, it's similar to triangle. So guys, with this one, just 1 second, with A, we know that A is equal to A1. So A and A, they are there, it's A1 and A2 there. So we just won't write that. And then B, we know that it's similar to C. Remember I told you guys that the order that you write your triangle, it should always be in correct order, that the first angle is the same with the first angle on the other triangle, and the second angle is the second angle on the triangle. So with our B, we know that it's equals to our C there, and our D as well is equals to our D, so it's D1 and also D2 there. All right, so we know that triangle ABD, it's similar to triangle ACD in this order. Alright guys, I hope you understood this lesson, and if you have any question, you will always put it on the comment note so that we'll have a follow up on it. Alright, remember guys that the reason enough for triangle to be similar to each other is when the when the angles inside the triangle, they are equal to each other. So for this case, we have proved that all the angles inside these two triangles, they are similar to each other. So that's reason enough that the triangle, they are similar to each other. And remember, reason for this one is A, which means angle, angle, angle. So three angles, good enough. It's similar to the two triangles are similar to each other. Alright guys, enjoy your day, and if you have any question, don't forget to just put it on the comment note, and then we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.